Welcome, everyone. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Vlado. I'm Service Delivery Manager for Content Development and Learning Services at NIL. I'm joined today by Martin Jens van Rensburg, who's Global Black Belt Partner Academy leader at Cisco Systems. So he'll be able, I'm sure, to answer any questions where I will fall short. And the idea of the session today is for the two of us to do our best to demystify the black belt, to explain the purpose behind it, how you can access it, what kind of benefits you'll gain from it, and obviously how to work with all of that. We don't plan to be too long. I think we're targeting around 30 minutes, plus minus. And well, let's start. So maybe Martin, before we start, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. And once again, Noel, thank you very much for the opportunity to join this webinar out to the partners in EMEA. So I'm Martin Jans van Rensburg. For better or worse, I am the founder and creator of the Black Belt Academy inside Cisco for our distributors and partners. I think one of the things that we wanted to do was keep listening to what the feedback was from the engineers and the sales members inside our distribution and partners and regular partners, and keep updating and making the Black Belt Academy a better experience for you. And ironically enough, last year when I was at the Cisco Live in Barcelona, one of the things that I heard from quite a few engineers was, please, can you make the Black Belt Academy work with some of the learning and training that actually goes through our learning partners, so that I don't have to do the content twice. Like, you've got the online content on Sales Connect, and you want me to go through all of that content, but I just did a 3 or 4 day course through NIL that covered the same content. Now I have to go do it all again just to tick a box so that I can do my stage 2 or stage 3 certification in Black Belt. So we listened to you, and we started working with Amaya and the team, believe it or not, almost 9 months ago. It takes a while to get these things done, but I'm very, very proud to say that NIL is the first global partner, learning partner that we've worked with to actually align the Black Belt Academy training to not all of the courses, but a lot of the courses that they actually provide today out to our partners and distributors. So we're very proud of the partnership that we have with NIL, and we look forward to you guys going on that training through NIL and then continuing your journey on the Black Belt Academy to help your partners and your distributors keep your continuous learning points that helps you keep your specializations and all the benefits that you get through that. And I'll cover some of those. But yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity, and hopefully we can go through some of the Q&A with the team as well. Thanks, Vlad. Over to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Martin. Yeah, so like Martin said, we do have a plan for Q&A. We've got some dedicated time at the end, but absolutely, if you've got a question in between, please put it into the Q&A panel, and our panelists will bring it to my attention, and we can work through them as we go through. So, as undoubtedly you all know, the portfolios that not just Cisco, but also other vendors have been growing throughout the time. With Cisco, we initially started with routers, switches, additional technologies such as wireless, collaboration, servers, DevNet related things, and software, anything are coming into play, and things are becoming more and more difficult to track as time goes by. At the same time, not dissimilar challenges are also awaiting our customers. The industries that were very much established for long time are changing in sometimes very unpredictable ways, and that's causing problems also to customers who we are partnering with, who we are supporting, and they are sometimes struggling to catch up with disruptive changes that are happening. In order for us to, as a partner, to be able to properly support our customers, it is also important, obviously, for us to try to position ourselves in proper direction to be able to choose the focus out of all the open possibilities that are out there, which on its own is not always the easiest thing to do, because as I'm sure you are well aware, there's lots of pathways, but not all of them offer equal long-term returns based on your decisions today. And to wrap it all up, when you want to be certified for something so that you can ensure that you've got proper level of knowledge, that you actually have the ability to do your work, in certain situations, it can also be slightly uncertain path to try to determine which training to choose, how to get to the certification, or just to the knowledge level, because it's not always about certification, to the actual knowledge level that you need to be able to do your job, to be able to actually help your customers out. So that's why Martin with Cisco decided to try to simplify things for you. And the old adage in martial arts is that you try to direct your energy in proper direction and achieve much more with less raw strength. So basically be able to do things more smoothly in what appears effortless way. We all know that behind that is actually quite a bit of an effort, but if you can do it well, it will actually help you along quite well. And Black Belt Academy is really here from that perspective. It will help you effectively put yourself in your own shoes from the get-go, from the start, and from your position, pick and choose what you want to learn based on what you want to achieve. So we've got different ways how to start, but they all kind of stem from your position, and that's the important part. Since we know that you may have some knowledge already, that you may be familiar with certain technologies, with certain topics, there are also different levels of learning to which you can aspire, and those levels are represented by different belts, if we put it like that, to keep things in context. We've got green belt, which is the starting point where you effectively learn about the solution or the product that you want to get acquainted with. Then we've got mid-level, where you start understanding really what it's all about, start seeing how you can apply in real life the solutions that you have learned of in the first step. And finally, with black belt, with the highest level, you are effectively an independent, fully enabled individual who can really self-assuredly discuss the solutions, different applications, different ways how to help your customers with the customers, or help your sales teams, or if we're starting from the sales perspective, be a good partner to engineers who then implement those solutions. There are obviously then concerns. Cisco already has multiple learning initiatives. The ones that are probably most well known are the official Learning at Cisco courses, where we have programs such as CCNA, CCMP, CCSI, and so forth. And the questions are, okay, how does Black Belt click into that other part of the learning story? Is it something separate? Is it something that goes along with it? And the answer to that question is that Black Belt effectively will try to bridge the gap between the learning directions that are offered by Learning at Cisco and between the needs that you may have at that particular point in time. Because the learning paths from Learning at Cisco, as you probably well know, are relatively stable ways of teaching yourself to do something. But at the same time, they're most often directed at technology basics, at technology concepts, and not necessarily so much at concrete solutions. Obviously, you need to know those basics, you need to know the foundations before you can actually start working with particular things. But for right now, at this point in time, I need to know a specific, Hyperflex, MDS, SD-WAN kind of solution. That's where more current approaches at learning, such as the ones that Black Belt offers, can help you out slightly better. So the two of them do go together. The knowledge that you get from the Black Belt enablements can help you out, of course, in your learning at Cisco certification tracks, but will typically be a bit more current than what learning at Cisco is at particular point offering. Black Belt does also offer some rewards both to the partner level and to individual people. And here I'll give spotlight back to Martin, who can explain this slightly better.
Thanks, Vlado. So there's lots of things that we have in the Black Belt Academy from a rewards perspective. So if you go to the Sales Connect hub on the Black Belt Academy, you'll see that there's a section called incentives. If you click on that, depending in which geographical region in the world you are, so most of you will be in Europe, maybe some of you are, well, Middle East, Africa, and Russia. So, but there's also different types of rewards that get offered out in the Americas or in APJC. So when you go to the website, you will see that you can look at the different types of rewards. So the first reward is really based on when you complete Black Belt Academy stages, stage 1, 2, 3. Depending on the number of hours of training, Learning at Cisco will allocate continuous learning points, which you as a partner or as a distributor in some cases will need to keep your certifications levels or specializations with Cisco. So what we try to do is to try and align the latest technology learning from Cisco based on pre-sales, deployment support, and account manager sales, and getting your continuous learning points at the same time. Those two things used to be quite separated, but we've aligned those two things. So a lot of partners now get their continuous learning points through that process. We also have the Shogun Rewards, which is a global platform for Cisco. I'll put two caveats on the table straight away. Oh, you can stay on the previous slides. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah.
No problem. There's two fundamental things that you need to remember about Shogun. Number one, certain partners or distributors do not allow their engineers or account managers to participate in rewards programs with any vendor like Cisco, number one. Or there are legal implications inside the country where you are, like the northern Scandinavian countries I know have a lot of rules about rewards and recognition programs and incentives being given to their staff. So check with your partner organization if you are eligible to use rewards. If you are, and you look at the specific EMEA page on the Black Belt Academy, you will see that there's lots of different rewards that exist. You know, it can be there's an ACI reward that's currently running in EMEA. You have SD-WAN rewards at the moment. There is also a reward for 20,000 points if you complete your Black Belt certification. For the first 100 individuals globally that get it in a quarter, you will get 20,000 points, and you can use those points and kind of bank them up to get anything from an iPad to, I think, even something crazy like I said, a golf clubs, right? So you can bank up those points, and we bring out these rewards and recognition things all the time. So there's different levels of them, and there's other rewards that is not part of the Black Belt Academy that's inside Shogun as well. So have a look at that, and you can log into the site. We'll show you afterwards how you do that. The other thing that you get is you get some badges. So you'll get a badge that says that you've actually been certified, or a certificate of completion that you've actually completed some of the training within Black Belt. So a lot of our early in career engineers within our partners and distributors really like that, because it kind of helps you build on that foundational training, as Vlado mentioned, like your CCNA, and now you want to learn about the latest SD-WAN technology that came out 3 months or 4 months after you did your CCNA. This is where the value of Black Belt comes in. So you can get that certificate that says you've got the latest SD-WAN experience from Cisco. So you have a badge and the certificate of completion. You can go to the next slide. And then this is the Shogun site. So you can go and log into the site, create an account. And like I told you, you will have to check with your partner organization. Usually all our partners have an alliance manager inside them that actually works on the programs like VIP and all those type of programs that you engage with Cisco. All they have to do is go into the same PSS platform and then basically go and select that they want to be part of this program, and then you guys can join it, right? So just one more thing. So some partners that do have caveats that they will not allow their employees to use platforms like Shogun, there is another way that we can run a program focused just on you. So some of our really big global partners and some of the smaller ones have actually ran Black Belt championships for up to 3,000 engineers inside their organization. So what we as Cisco would do is we would, through your partner account manager, your PAM, we will actually either in a MOU or what you would know as the big bet engagement with Cisco, you will actually engage with us, and we will put a Black Belt championship either on a specific technology or a cross architecture, all the things that are inside Black Belt, and we can run that championship with you. So work with the PAM or your DPAM if you're a distributor, that you can actually run a Black Belt championship in your organization. And what we will do is put some funding into your own rewards and recognition platform. So there's a couple of ways that we can work with you as organizations to do this, right? So thanks.
Okay.
Martin here or Vlado here, we just got a question, and maybe you can answer it straight away. And I think Muhammad is asking, what do we do when I cannot find my company under partner company selection?
Let them get in contact with me, and I'll put them in contact with the right parts in Cisco to be able to do that, right? So if the individual that's asking that question, just let them get their contact details to me, and I'll help them out.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Martin, for these explanations. So let's dig right into it. So what we will take a look at right now is actually a view at the Cisco Black Belt site. There were some questions during your part, Martin, about links and presentations. Yes, we will obviously share the presentation, and there's the whole session is being recorded and the links afterwards, so don't have to worry about it. In any case, this is the link that you can use to get actually to the Black Belt Academy, and let me get you right into that. So we have here the initial page of the Cisco Black Belt. There's obviously a bit of intro, current news. Martin's going to have a bit more to say about that when we near the end of our session. And then we've got effectively the site itself. As you can see, the whole thing is divided basically on your role within the company. We've got sales, we've got engineering oriented locations, we've got things that have to do with specific type of partner that you may be. There's things directed at distributors and so forth. And we've got then at the bottom some, let's say, general things such as frequently asked questions. We'll go a bit into that at the end as well. I'll show the align trainings and so forth. So there's a lot of different sections. But let's maybe start from the position of an engineer who would like to enable themselves on a particular technology. You go to engineering section, you choose your specialty out of the one of the sections that's currently available. Let me make it clear at this point that, of course, this is a live site. Things get added to it on continuous basis, new enablements, new technologies, new initiatives. So it is a good idea to come and check it every now and then, because if you can't find a thing today, it may be here next week, and it's a good idea to see what's going on. We choose our data center, which has then additionally things divided into subsections, and let's say that today we are, for example, interested in HyperFlex enablement. So with HyperFlex, we then have things additionally divided into pre-sales, deployment, and support life cycles of in this particular case, Hyperflex technology, and it's up to you to determine at that point which role in this particular case suits your current needs best. And as we've seen before, different stages effectively determine your current, let's say, level of being comfortable with that particular technology in that particular segment. And you can then start, for example, at the lowest stage. There's also different languages available for our region. English will probably be the one that you'll choose the most. And as you hover over, you immediately see how much time you can predict you're going to need to get yourself up that level, and how many learning points you will accumulate once you finish that. But let's go right in and see how you actually can get started with that. As the new tab opens, you have, for this particular one, I have already registered, but you typically have two options. Either you've got the virtual learning path, which is pretty much all online. You've got different sections that you can go through. There are different resources that you consume in different ways. There are either videos or documents. And typically at the end of each section, there's a quiz where your knowledge that you have accumulated in this section gets tested, and pending successful completion of the test, you will then have that particular section marked as complete. When you go through all the quizzes in a particular section, you will then effectively be marked as having successfully passed that particular level. Or alternatively, depending on the level at which you're at, you can also go and do a more classical approach to learning, which is either access Platinum Learning Library, where there are different resources in terms of more classical form of training, or even if you want to attend, or if you have already attended an online or in-person training with Cisco Learning partners such as NIL, you will also be able to effectively enter that information into the Black Belt site, so that you will be recognized as having completed that particular track. And maybe, Martin, I'll hand the spotlight back to you here, so that you can show how partners can then fill their completion status into the Cisco.
Yeah, what I'll do is just show you as an example. So if we just went into engineering and we've selected data center, and I will select stage 2 as an example here of what you've done. So I've done, for example, the training through NIL, and what that did is it actually gave me a credit aligned to the Hyperflex deployment stage 2 as an example. So if I click on this link, and I'm not going to complete the actual online training because I've actually done the training course for 3 or 4 days through NIL, I will just say, well, I'm going to click on this, and you still have to do the submission requirements. But the problem is now nothing works, so I can't click on anything. So don't log a case with us. The really important button here is the register button. You have to click the register button. Otherwise, we can't track how far you are in actually completing the learning. And you, as a partner or distributor, you can actually see, your management can actually see how far you've actually gone through completing some of these learning maps and things like that as well, if they put them into your quarterly KSOs. So what happens is you have to complete this quiz. So I can click on that. That will start the quiz. The other thing is it'll say, here's the submission guidelines. It'll download a PDF document. I open up that PDF document, and it will say, this is what you need in order to complete your Black Belt stage 2. So it says, register at the top, complete the quiz, and submit your Hyperflex deployment track application solution here. You click on that link, it will open up a smart sheet. And I know a lot of this information we already have. This will change over the next couple of months. We're bringing out a new feature that all of the stuff that you have to unfortunately put in at the moment, it's just a limitation of the system that we have today. But you put in the details here, and what you then say when you get to this section is you'll say you've attended instructor-led training. Now, on the NIL website, when you go and register for the training, that you've done that 3 or 4 day training is around Hyperflex, there will be a tick box that you tick and you provide your Cisco login ID. NIL will provide us that details, and we will then be able to see that we can give you a credit for the training that you attended, that Hyperflex training, which date, and you go through this. And the submission requirement still for a stage 2 deployment is ideally a sales order number, because you can't actually really install something at a customer if there's not a sales order number for the equipment that you installed. You complete the rest of the fields, upload the relevant documents, and hit the submit button, and then that will come through to us, and we will, my validation team will basically go through the training with yourselves, or go through the documentation that you submitted, make sure that the sales order number matches the customer and your partner or distributor name, and then we'll actually pass you through the system, right? So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an understanding of how the process works, between the multi-path learning maps. And just one other thing, you'll see that it says here Platinum Learning Library as well. If you go to the front page of Black Belt, for all of you that are recertifying your CCIE, CCNP, there is a lot of our partners actually use the Platinum, or now referred to as the Digital Learning Library. So here you can see which training, if you did it inside the Platinum Learning Library and you got your continuous education credits, that's for you to keep your Cisco certification as an engineer. You can see what we will give you a credit towards. So if you look through this list, you can see, for example, Hyperflex, Black Belt Stage 2 support, this module will count towards you getting a credit for that. So the same thing will apply when you go into that smart sheet to do the submission. You just basically tell us that you completed the Cisco Hyperflex Operation and Management course. You usually get a certificate at the end of that, because that's how you get your 16 continuous education credits. And then we will give you a credit. So you don't have to do the content on Black Belt online. You just submit the requirements that we need and a copy of your certificate that you got here. So that's what we refer to as multi-path learning. So you can do the digital online content. You can work with NIL and actually go through one of their training webinars and training that's aligned with Black Belt, or you can use the Digital Learning Library. So that gives you the 3 options how you can get your certifications and what content you do. Right? I'll pass the ball back to you now.
Thank you, Martin.
You just muted. No problem.
Yes. Okay, so thanks for that. And let's go right back into the Black Belt webpage. Yeah, like Martin just described, here we've got effectively a couple of options. There's the Digital Platinum Learning Library, and another option is also doing the training through a learning partner. And if you click on that, currently, as you can see, NIL's the only option. There's probably more to come, but so far it's us. If you click on it, you get right onto our webpage, onto our Black Belt section of the webpage, and you can find all the associated courses that we, sorry for jumping, that we currently offer in combination with the Black Belt. You would then, of course, click on any of those courses that are of interest to you, register for them, and you would then start, let's say, a standard course with us. So what do we currently offer? Currently, as you've seen, we've got 13 courses that are Black Belt aligned on our webpage. We've got different technologies that those courses cover. Usually there's more than single course per technology, so there's slightly different aspects. You can go to the Black Belt webpage and you can see there also directly with which level of which technology a particular course is aligned. In some cases, it's also true that one course may cover multiple aspects of a particular technology. So it may cover both pre-sales and deployment phase, or deployment and support phase. So that's something to check. And of course, we are preparing more of our courses, either new courses or refining existing courses to be Black Belt aligned, so that our offer in this particular section will grow over time. We're coming to the end, and let me just maybe give you a bit of overview of NIL. I'm sure that a lot of you are familiar with us. For those of you who are not, we are a very long time Cisco partner. We've been around since 1989. We were actually the first internet service provider in Slovenia. We don't do that anymore for quite a while, but from 95 we've also been Cisco Gold partner, and we all along we are also heavily involved with both developing Cisco courses and delivering Cisco courses. We are regionally present in the whole EMER, but we do also cover, when needed, training needs pretty much worldwide. Our instructors are probably among the more well-traveled people in the world based on what where they were, obviously pre-corona times, currently more homebound, but still we offer wide area of trainings. We do also offer consulting services, advanced integration solutions and so forth, but that's maybe slightly out of scope of today's topic. And with that, Martin, I'm going back to you so that you can maybe talk about the social media challenge that's currently available, and then we go to the Q&A part.
Yep. So maybe just another thing that we just launched this quarter. So when we talk about this is Cisco's quarters. So our Q3 is currently in month 2. So we launched this challenge for individuals that complete Black Belt Stage 3 certification and use social media. Funny enough, if you go to Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, some people use a lot of people use the hashtag Cisco Black Belt Academy, and what they do is they actually post their certificates of completion on social media. So if any of the engineers or the account managers that complete Black Belt Stage 3 in this quarter, up until, we're going to actually run this for 2 quarters, so it'll actually run up until July. But in this quarter, you can upload that Stage 3 certificate that you got. You have to obviously complete Stage 3, upload it on social media, send us a screenshot of what you've done, and you will enter a draw into winning potentially one of 5 Meraki MR36s, or if you do 2 Black Belt Stage 3s, so maybe you in 2 different architectures, so maybe you Black Belt Stage 3 in Hyperflex and you do a Black Belt Stage 3 in SD-WAN in the same quarter, you can enter the draw to win an MX68W with a 3-year advanced security license as well. So please participate. We put these rewards out there because these are things a lot of people want. I myself run a lot of Meraki equipment at home and I love it. So yeah, it's a very cool technology and amazing simplified deployment technology from Cisco. So I think it'll be great for any of you guys as engineers to learn how to utilize more of this if you haven't had experience with Meraki. So please upload your Stage 3 certificates in social media and enter the challenge, and then hopefully you enter the draw, right? So and we'll announce the winners in May and in the beginning of August. So
oh, that sounds really enticing. Yeah. Okay, cool. So do we have any additional questions relating anything Black Belt?
Yes, Vlado, we have a question from Nicola, and he's asking if these courses that you show, if they are they only available at NIL?
Lots of them are. Yeah, lots of them are NIL's IP, so NIL's intellectual property, developed by us and aligned with Cisco Black Belt. I think maybe a couple of them are also in slightly more wider distribution, but I would say 80% of them are ours.
That was it for now.
Is it? Okay.
okay.
Cool.
Maybe
Yes.
one thing I'll quickly just share as well is For all the engineers and the account managers that use the platform, I know you might not have the question right now. Let me just kill that because it goes a bit bonsai. You might not have the question now, but before you log a case, you can log a case. So there's a contact information. You can click on this and log a case with us, and my team will get back to you with any information that you need. But as always, just like we all know with our customers, usually about 90% of the things that people ask has already been solved. So please make sure you check out the frequently asked questions, and there's multiple ways that you can get to the frequently asked questions. If you're inside an architecture or a main architecture page, let me show you what that looks like. So in a main architecture page, if you're in engineering, there's a little button that you can click and it'll show you, once my mouse starts working again. So if I was in enterprise networking and I wanted to find something here, there's a frequently asked questions button here. You can click on that and it will take you to the questions and you can search. So I can type in something like multipath learning and it'll tell me, well, how does multipath learning work, right? So lots and lots of the questions are already answered in here. If you don't want to find it that way, you can just go to the frequently asked questions off the main page right at the bottom, click on the green button, you'll end up at the same place. And once again, you can put in the keyword search what you're looking for. One of the questions, I had a engagement with a whole bunch of partners in Asia Pacific, Japan, and China this morning, and one of the questions was, if I move from one partner to another, what happens with my certification? So it actually moves with your CCO ID. So if you move from one company to another and you've done all the work to do your black belt stage 1, 2, and 3 Hyperflex training, that certification will move with you. The continuous learning points, intrinsically enough, moves with you as well, because that's what your certification is aligned to. But if you're 5 guys and a partner and you use the same login ID to do the training on black belt, if one of you moves, you're going to lose it, right? So make sure that you use a single CCO login ID to go to Sales Connect and do your training, right? And when you move between partners, your certification is yours. It moves with you, just like your CCNA, CCIE, CCNP would move, right? So yeah, that's just a FYI.
Okay, maybe here I will jump in because there were some questions, last one by Andrea and also before about the recording and the links. We will make sure that we are recording the session, and we will make sure that we will also include all the links that Martin and Vlado shared during the presentation and sent to all attendees. So don't worry about that.
So with that, I think we can slowly wrap up. I would like to thank you all for being here today, for taking your time. Any additional questions that you may have, feel free to send them to an email address, ls@nil.com. We'll be more than happy to answer them. Obviously, feel free to also follow us on social media, such as LinkedIn, Facebook. Fresh news from today, I believe we are also present on Instagram. I think Matthias will be able to confirm that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If there are any questions, like I said, feel free to contact us afterwards. The presentation or the session was recorded. The links will be sent and the presentation will be available as well. Martin, thanks a lot for your time as well here today.
No problem.
Been really informative, helped me out. And yeah, see you next time.
Thank you very much, everybody, and thanks, NIL, for the opportunity. We are definitely working on the partnership and making this better. Please, the only added that I would have, if you find things that do not work on the Black Belt Academy site, if you find things that are not 100% right, let us know, right? And we do listen and we do fix things. We are not perfect, and with us and NIL working together, we might have some teething problems as well, but bear with us. We just started this relationship in this way, so please give us feedback and we will continuously improve the process, right? So that's the only thing that I can ask for all the participants. Give us the feedback. You will see, by the way, that we are going to launch a lot of our content now, all translated, but it's all being done automatically by a cloud-based platform. And that's going to be very interesting because some of the translation might not be 100%. So there will be some disclaimers maybe on our Russian translations that will not be 100% correct day one. But it's going to be a machine learning process, and we're continuously striving to add more content, more languages onto the Black Belt Academy and make things easier for you guys. But please keep giving us a NIL feedback on how we can make things better. That's what we strive to do. Right? Excellent.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Cheers.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.